All right, Shalom. Let me get straight into this lesson. Got a lot to get to. So what you're looking at right here was a statue, um, a bus that they had in Jerusalem, so-called Jerusalem, right? Because we really don't know what Jerusalem is at in the land of Israel, because the Edomites that took over the land, they've removed markers, they've changed territories, so on and so forth. All right, so this was a statue that they had at King David tomb, right? His so-called tomb. And when you actually do the research, that ain't really where he was buried. You know, that's not the correct place, but I want to use this to make a point, right? So if you look at this statue that they had here, I think they took it down in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. You can clearly see that this is a so-called black man. And what they did, you know, they vandalized this statue before they took it down, broke the nose off, as you can see, right? Check it out. This is the real King David. So let's go into this statue. Then I'm going to get into the depiction. I'm going to get into how King David was described in the Bible. 1 second. Matter of fact, give me 1 second. 1 second. So let me get into this video to prove that to you. Let me go back into it.
Not far from the tomb of David, and this beautiful statue of King David coming to art. And what's amazing, I did not know this was here. And the bells are ringing. So the shofar.
And you can clearly see that's a so-called black man. So let's keep going.
Or should be blowing, I'm not going to try. King David, the statue dedicated to him by Russians, some Jewish Russians, some other. Alexander Domine was the architect. I'm sorry, Paul Baby for the vocabulary. But anyway, this is a beautiful bronze statue of King David. And of course, we're not far from King David's tomb. And we'll be going there as well as the upper room in just a few moments.
Right, so what they did is they took this statue down because they was vandalizing it. I'm going to get into this information right here. Because they know something, you know, the higher up, the Edomites that's in the land of Israel that's calling themselves rabbis. Some of them know what time it is. They know that King David and the Israelites were so-called black people. Right here, this is what you just got through seeing. It's a monument to King David gifted by Russian charity dismantled in Jerusalem. So they took it down in 2018. Check this out. And it goes to show you the hatred of these Edomites to you Jakes, and you Jakes just don't get it. It says a monument to the holy King David, Malak Dawadah, right? Installed on Mount Zion almost a decade ago by the Russian Charitable Foundation of the St. Nicholas the Wonder Worker, was dismantled today. The statue had previously been vandalized several times. The reason for the monument's removal is not clear. I wonder why. And no response has yet been offered by the mayor of Jerusalem. Right here. The statue at the very top has suffered damage several times. It says with repairs not always being carried out very quickly. It says attackers knocked off fragments of King David's face several times and damaged the remain visible even after repairs. So these Edomites could not stand that being a so-called black man on that statue, because King David was a so-called black man. Let's keep reading this, and I'm going to get more into this lesson. It says the monument was installed in October 2008. So about 10 years that it was there. It says near the tomb of King David, under the walls of the church. The bronze statue was received by Israeli authorities as a gift from the Russian charitable St. Nicholas Foundation. It says a 120-person Russian Russian delegation arrived for the consecration of the monument at that time. The cost of creating and installing the monument was about $2 million. It says from the beginning, the installation of the monument in the old section of the city, realistically depicting the holy king and prophet David, he was a king and a prophet, was negatively received by many representatives of the ultra Orthodox Jewish community. I wonder why. Because he is clearly shown as a so-called black man, and they hate this. Slovakia. Zoom in. I had some more pictures, but you can clearly see that this is a so-called black man. All right. So let's go into the scriptures and get his description. We ain't making none of this up. It says 1 Samuel 16 and 12. It says, and he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy. We're going to break this word ruddy down. Matter of fact, let's go to 11. Salakia. I'll just keep reading. It says, and withal all beautiful countenance and goodly to look to. And the Lord said, arise and anoint him, for this is he. Who is this talking about? Let's go to the next verse, 13. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the spirit of Yahweh came upon David from that day forward. So this is the description of King David, Malak Dawadah. So we're going to go to chapter, we're going to go back to 12. We're going to go break this word ruddy down. So when you go into this word ruddy, give me 1 second. 1 second, Salakia. I don't need that. Let me just keep going. Let's go here. Salakia. Okay. So this word ruddy is in Genesis 25 and 25, but it's actually a different word. Let's go here, because it's going to take me to the word anyway. So this is what these unlearned people go here to prove. They try to say that King David was the same description as Esau, Edom. So you go to this word red, to Genesis 25 and 25. It's going to have some scriptures at the bottom. That scripture, 1 Samuel 16 and 12, you see the word, matter of fact, let's go back. And they purposely did this. They actually, I was reading some stuff that they changed the word. All right, Rufus. So give me 1 second. 1 second. All right, so this is first Salakia. Give me 1 second. Let me go to that. But you see right here, what I'm saying, on Genesis 25, 25, it says one came out red. So that's a difference than 1 Samuel 16 and 12. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy. So one word is talking about, in the red color, and one is talking about ruddy. It's a difference. So let's go to this 1 Samuel 16 and 12 as it describes King David. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you something. Let's just go to the whole thing. I'm kind of did this on the fly. So 1 Samuel 16 and 12, so you can see. Look at the top. David anointed. So this is talking about King David. So you can see I'm just proving it all the way so you can get it. So go to this word ruddy. And this is the reason why you have to go back into the origin of words, break words down. You got to go deep sometimes to get the truth. This word ruddy, right? And they purposely cause this confusion. Right here, it says, right here, I want to show you this. So when you go into the Latin, that's why you got to know Latin as well. Greek, Latin, and Hebrew. When you go to the word Latin, the Latin Vulgate, which is a Latin translation of the Bible, this word Rufus is used when it's to describe King David. And when you go in the word ruddy, all right, ruddy, Ruddy is like right here. It says ruddy can mean a reddish brown color. They even got a description right here. So this was the description of King David, ruddy, as a brownish red, brown with reddish hue, right? So he was brown skinned with that red hue in it, like, you know what I'm saying? Let's go back here. And Salakia. Give me 1 second. All right, so going back into this word ruddy, I don't know why I keep kicking me out, but I want to show you something very important. When you go to the 1 Samuel 16:12, right here, as you can see, it says Rufus from the Latin vocate. So when you go into this word Rufus, you go to the root, the etymology of the word Rufus. Check this out. At the top, it says Rufus, masculine, proper name, literally red-haired. It says from Latin Rufus, it can mean red, tawny, tawny. Let's go to this word tawny. Okay, right here, tawny. It says of orange/brown, a yellowish brown color. So that's that brown color with the reddish hue. So-called black man. You get the point. It says of light yellowish brown color. It says a light yellowish brown, so brown. So when you go back into the description of King David, I don't know why. Okay, it's like you. He was described as being ruddy. And let's go, and we know we go to the Latin vocate, the word Rufus goes back into the word, one of the words come back as tawny, and tawny goes to brown, you know what I'm saying, right here. So even when you, let me go back here. Let me show you something. Give me 1 second. So when you go to 1 Samuel 16:12 to prove my point, you go to the same scripture, just the New Living Translation, NLT. It says, so Jesse sent for him. He was dark and handsome with beautiful eyes. So he was dark, that dark reddish brown. You know what I'm saying? That was the description of King David. So that's a cut on the madness. And then ruddy, matter of fact, let me show you one more thing. Let me show you one more thing before I get into this. And what I did is put in ruddy animals, and you see what comes up is going to images. That brown, that brown with that reddish hue in it to prove my point. Right here, a ruddy duck. A ruddy duck. You see that brown with those red hues? So let's go to King David's father. How did he look? Right? So he, King David son was Solomon. So how did Solomon look? This is the book of Song of Solomon, chapter 1 and 5. It says, I am black, but comely. All right, so this is the description of King Solomon when you go to this word black. Let's go to the word right here. It says properly dusky, so dark skinned. Let's go to the Hebrew lexicon. It says blackish in color of the face. Blackish color of the face. So King Solomon was King David's son. You know what I'm saying? King Solomon was King David's son. Right? Salaki, did I say that correct? Yeah, King Solomon was David's son. Yeah, so if he, if King Solomon was a so-called black man, that means his father was a so-called black man. It's just common sense. But hopefully this lesson has been edifying. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachat, Kodash. Shalom.